I now come to the last one, which I've been told by my beloved collaborators that every participant in this series has to answer, which is what piece of career advice would you give to the current generation of young professionals who are looking to become future foreign policy leaders? Well, first answer is that if I was good at career advice, I would have given it to myself a long time ago. But it's obviously, look at my white hair, it's too late for that now. So anyway, I can't dodge the question apparently, so I'll try to answer. First thing, learn languages. Not only because as a diplomat or a foreign policy professional you get to speak languages, although that's always useful, of course. No, the reason I say that is because if you learn a language, you learn another culture, you learn another mindset. You're able better to get outside your own culture with its advantages but also its limits, and truly understand where the other guy is coming from, the way he or she perceives the world, which sometimes can be very different from the way that you perceive it, and therefore you can build bridges. So I think from an intellectual point of view, learning languages is one of the key things. Second thing, history. I say that, of course, being totally biased because I'm a former historian and a present historian too. But I honestly believe that the study of history is fantastic for situational awareness, for understanding situations, for being able to analyse and evaluate situations, to distinguish between what is important from what is not. And by the way, history is fantastic when you have to write speeches, as I had to do for a lot of my career, because you can mine history for all kinds of parallels, metaphors, references, lessons, which often illuminate a line of argument. I mean, maybe there are other intellectual disciplines, law maybe, that can help in this respect, but I always thought that history was particularly useful to me. Third thing, be able to communicate. If you're in foreign policy, probably more than if you're in business or many other careers, you have to spend a lot of your time communicating, chairing meetings, arguing your position at conferences, standing up and giving speeches, making the case. I went, for example, a couple of weeks ago through a week where I had to give, and this is no exaggeration, 6 big speeches in 1 week, not briefings, not talks, speeches. Of course, you want to be convincing, you want to get your arguments across, you have to be understood. So some people are natural communicators, they have it in the DNA. Other people become communicators through hard work and discipline and a little bit of media training. But I don't believe today that anybody can be successful in foreign policy if they're not an effective communicator, and so work on it. Even people who think they're good communicators can always improve and can always learn, but it's absolutely fundamental. So that would be the next thing I would say. Finally, however, believe in something. I mean, nobody was ever remembered in history for being a nice guy. Everybody who is remembered in history is remembered because of a set of ideas. In the case of Stalin and Adolf Hitler, obviously bad ideas or a bad ideology. In the case of many others, good ideas and good ideology, but it's your ideas that get you remembered, that are the judge of whether or not you've been effective in public life. Not only the righteousness or the justness, the timeliness of the ideas, but your ability to implement them. And therefore, don't bother to go into this field if you don't want to change something, if you don't have a sense of what you want to achieve, and stick with it. Sometimes, yes, you have to compromise, obviously, but stick with your ideas. Let me just finish with one thought. The only time I've ever reproached myself and felt guilty was when I sacrificed my idea in order to please somebody else. On other times, I've been defeated in terms of my idea not being the one that was ultimately accepted. But I always felt better for at least sticking to what I thought was to be correct or to be true. So please, if you're going into the field, be a great communicator, but have something to communicate and have some ideas which are going to make the world a better place. There's too much process in foreign policy, too few results. So be somebody who wants results more than process.